to today's session. I'm going to go through very quickly some introductory materials before we hand it off to the keynote speakers for today. So if you would go to the next slide. The Avoca Quality Consortium, just as a quick framing again, does focus on accelerating the development of best practices and industry standards, and the focus is on proactive quality management. We do, through our membership, bring together biotech, pharma, CROs, and other clinical service providers in a pre-competitive setting focused on raising the industry to a new level of strategy and approach to quality and best practices. We do develop a new paradigm in the industry's approach, and we're partnering with high-quality focus on risk mitigation, which we will talk about today. It's led by the Avoca Group and sponsored by Pfizer and Lilly. The history for Avoca has been in existence since 1999 with a heavy focus on consulting, survey, research, and training. It does focus on sponsors and CROs in getting joint success through partnership. And Avoca provides their consulting clients with strategy and tools and best practice information. What really prompted the consortium was through some state-of-the-industry assessments where there were changes and pressures on the management of quality in the industry. If you would go back one slide. The increase in clinical outsourcing, the consolidation of the spend, there's globalization, very complex protocol designs, industry focus on efficiency and cost savings, and obviously a very high-profile increase of FDA warning letters, and that led to a comprehensive industry analysis in 2011 that then prompted the creation of the consortium. The pillars of the consortium does focus on two major areas. The Avoca research identifies industry gaps and best practice approaches. And then based on those needs and gaps, we focus with our member companies at developing the leading practices that play out in guidelines, tools, standards, and other templates. I won't go through all the core tenets here, but just to highlight that we have all of these. I've talked about the research and the leading practices, but we also focus heavily on collaboration, recognizing that the new paradigms will not occur without partnership between biotech, pharma, and CRO companies working together in a pre-competitive sense. We engage our member companies into very interactive activities. And the transparency is also in place such that we partner and work with other industry consortia to make sure that there are no duplication of efforts, but that there's collaborative and partnered activities. And we focus on new innovative approaches to doing the businesses to change the paradigms that we're working in. This slide just reflects our member companies. There are 36 member companies. 22 of those are pharmaceutical-based, and the others are provider and specialty organization-based companies. Just to very quickly highlight the three main areas, if we look at the leading practice categories this year in 2014, the consortium is focusing on comprehensive quality oversight, guidelines, and tools. These are leading practices for how organizations, sponsors, and biotech and pharma companies can oversee work that is outsourced to providers. Also focusing on proactive risk identification tools and quality by design principles, which we will touch on today. A heavy focus on pre-qualification of technical service providers and getting standards and sharing of information across organizations. Standard study level quality metrics and an industry framework or taxonomy, as well as a quality agreement template that was delivered in 12 but continued refinements and revisions. And all consortium members can access these guidelines and tools from an innovative technology platform. From a research perspective, the research this year focuses on quality management practices. as well as there's a benchmarking initiative focusing on study level quality metrics, and then also a joint initiative with the Society for Clinical Research Sites that was looking at investigative research at the site level. And all members have access to the reports as they are provided. And finally, and that leads us to today, we focus on education. So we do have an educational webinar series. This one today is focusing on risk management. And reports and publications on quality and trends are also available, as well as monthly newsletters. So with that, I would transition it to John Raffa for his presentation on consortium data.
Great. Thanks, Steve. Good morning and good afternoon to everybody on the line today. John Raffa. I'm the Executive Director of Research Services at the Avoca Group, and it's nice to be a part of this event today. We have some really good speakers in Brian and Coleen and Ann that will follow me that offer some unique and insightful perspectives on risk management and the application of risk management approaches in clinical drug development. What I'd like to do today is just briefly set the stage by sharing some of the findings from research that Avoca conducted last year on this topic. So we had over 200 participants from biopharmaceutical companies, as well as over 150 from CROs that offer their perspectives on clinical trial risk management. And the research we conducted was fairly broad in nature. I'm only going to hit on a few key topics and findings from the research that I think are most relevant to the discussion today and will really help kind of frame where we're at as an industry.